Welcome back to the School of Buddha. Today, we are starting the fourth theme of this podcast series, which is based on ethical living and personal development. In this episode, we'll delve into one of Buddhism's core teachings, impermanence, or Anicca. Impermanence is the understanding that everything in life, our thoughts, feelings, possessions, relationships, and even our bodies, is in a constant state of change. At first, this might sound unsettling, but when embraced, the truth of impermanence becomes a source of liberation. It helps us let go of clinging, navigate life's uncertainties with grace, and find peace in the present moment. Imagine holding a snowflake in your hand. Its beauty is undeniable, but it exists only for a brief moment before melting away. This fleeting nature doesn't diminish its beauty. It enhances it, making the moment you hold it all the more precious. In the same way, impermanence teaches us to appreciate life's transient nature, to savor its moments without grasping at them or fearing their end. The Buddha's own journey began with a profound encounter with impermanence. As a young prince, Siddhartha was shielded from the realities of aging, sickness, and death. But when he ventured beyond the palace walls and witnessed these universal truths, he was deeply moved. This realization sparked his quest for understanding, leading him to uncover the path to freedom. Impermanence, he discovered, is not something to resist, but to accept as a fundamental aspect of existence. Let's begin by reflecting on how impermanence appears in our daily lives. Think about a time when something changed unexpectedly, a job, a relationship, or even your mood. How did you respond? Did you resist the change, or were you able to adapt? Often, our suffering arises not from the change itself, but from our resistance to it. We cling to what is familiar, fearing the unknown, even though change is inevitable. One of the most powerful ways to embrace impermanence is through the practice of mindfulness. In mindfulness, we observe our experiences as they arise and pass away, noticing their impermanent nature. For example, when we focus on the breath during meditation, we notice that each inhale is followed by an exhale, each sensation arising and dissolving. This simple practice helps us become more comfortable with the transient nature of all things. Let's try a brief mindfulness exercise together. Close your eyes if it's safe and comfortable, and take a deep breath in and out. As you breathe, notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your nostrils. With each breath, remind yourself, this moment is here, and now it's gone. Observe how each breath is unique, never to be repeated. When thoughts or emotions arise, notice them as part of the flow, arising and fading like waves on the ocean. When you're ready, open your eyes, carrying this awareness with you. Impermanence is often most evident in our relationships. Friendships evolve, loved ones grow older, and conflicts come and go. The Buddha encouraged his followers to cherish their relationships with mindfulness, knowing that each interaction is fleeting. This perspective doesn't diminish the importance of our connections, it deepens them, helping us approach each moment with gratitude and presence. Consider how this might apply in your own life. The next time you're with someone you care about, pause to appreciate the moment. Notice their laughter, their gestures, the energy of the interaction. Recognize that this moment, like all others, is impermanent, and let that awareness inspire you to be fully present. Another aspect of impermanence is its role in transforming suffering. When we're in pain, whether physical or emotional, it can feel overwhelming, as though it will last forever. But impermanence reminds us that pain, like all things, is temporary. The Buddha once said, "Everything arises and passes away. When you see this, you are above sorrow." This teaching invites us to approach suffering with patience and perspective, knowing that it too will pass. A story from the Buddha's life beautifully illustrates this truth. A grieving mother came to the Buddha, devastated by the loss of her child. She begged him to bring her child back to life. The Buddha, compassionate as ever, told her he would help if she could bring him a mustard seed from a household untouched by death. The woman went from house to house, but everywhere she went, she found stories of loss. Gradually, she realized that suffering is universal, and that clinging to the past only deepens the pain. This realization allowed her to accept her grief and begin the process of healing. The teaching of impermanence also helps us release attachment. In Buddhism, attachment is the clinging to people, possessions, or outcomes as though they were permanent. When we attach to something impermanent, we inevitably experience disappointment when it changes or fades. Impermanence invites us to appreciate things as they are, without trying to hold on to them or make them last forever. A helpful practice for working with attachment is gratitude for the present moment. For example, if you find yourself clinging to a relationship, remind yourself of the joy it brings right now, rather than fearing its potential loss. This shift in perspective helps you enjoy the relationship more fully while accepting its natural ebb and flow. Impermanence also teaches us resilience. When we face challenges, knowing that they won't last forever gives us strength to endure. Imagine a stormy sea. While the waves may be rough, the storm eventually passes, leaving calm waters behind. Similarly, our difficulties, no matter how intense, are not permanent. This perspective helps us face adversity with courage and hope. Let's try a visualization exercise to embody this resilience. Close your eyes if you're in a comfortable place, and imagine yourself as a sturdy tree. Around you, winds of change blow, representing challenges, transitions, and uncertainties. Feel your roots firmly planted in the ground, unshaken by the storm. The wind may bend your branches, but it cannot uproot you. With each breath, remind yourself, this storm will pass and I will remain grounded. When you're ready, open your eyes, carrying this sense of stability into your day. One of the most liberating aspects of impermanence is its connection to possibility. Because nothing is fixed, we're never stuck. Each moment offers a new beginning, a chance to grow, change, and start anew. The Buddha emphasized this when he said, "Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again." This teaching reminds us that impermanence is not just an end, it's also a beginning. As we close today's episode, take a moment to reflect on how impermanence appears in your life. Are there areas where you resist change? How might you approach those moments with more acceptance and grace? Can you find beauty in the transient nature of your experiences, savoring them without clinging? Thank you for joining me in this exploration of impermanence. I hope it inspires you to embrace life's ever-changing nature with openness and curiosity. In our next episode, we'll discuss the concept of mindfulness and how living fully in the present moment can transform the way we experience life. Until then, may you find peace in the flow of change, and may you savor the beauty of each fleeting moment.